Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Ricky Hatton passed away at the age of 46. Richard John Hatton, popularly known as Ricky Hatton, was an English professional boxer who left a lasting legacy as one of Britain's best-loved and most accomplished fighters. Nicknamed the Hitman and the People's Champion, Hatton's career advanced from humble beginnings in Manchester to becoming a two-weight world champion and an international boxing icon. Ricky Hatton's professional boxing journey began in 1997 when he made his debut with a first-round technical knockout. Early in his career, he won the British light welterweight title in 2000, followed by capturing the World Boxing Union (WBU) light welterweight title in 2001. Hatton then went on to make a record 15 successful defenses of the WBU title between 2001 and 2004. His breakthrough on the global stage came in 2005 when Hatton achieved a stunning victory over Kostya Tszyu, the reigning International Boxing Federation (IBF) ring and lineal champion. This win, considered one of the greatest by a British boxer in decades, crowned Hatton the new IBF light welterweight champion. Following this, he unified the light welterweight division by defeating Carlos Mausa to claim the World Boxing Association, a WBA, superversion, title, solidifying his status as the undisputed light welterweight world champion. Building momentum, Hatton moved up to the welterweight division in 2006, capturing the WBA title by defeating Luis Collazo, adding to his distinguished list of achievements. Hatton was beloved for his relentless fighting style, relentless pressure inside the ring, and his ability to connect with fans. His popularity rivals that of British boxing legends Henry Cooper and Frank Bruno, and his matches regularly drew large crowds and high television ratings. Notably, his fights against Floyd Mayweather Jr. in 2007 and Manny Pacquiao in 2009, though resulting in losses, were high-profile events that tested Hatton against some of the best fighters of his generation. Despite setbacks, Hatton's resilience shone through, and he made a brief return to light welterweight, claiming the IBF and International Boxing Organization (IBO) titles once more in 2007. His career officially ended with 45 wins from 48 professional bouts, including 32 knockouts, before retiring in 2012. Beyond the ring, Ricky Hatton was known as a charismatic and humble figure who endeared himself to the community in Manchester and to boxing fans worldwide. In later years, he took on roles as a promoter and trainer and advocated for mental health and well-being through charity work. Hatton was planning a comeback in late 2025, illustrating his enduring passion for the sport. Hatton's sudden death in September 2025 sent shockwaves through the boxing world. Colleagues, rivals, and fans mourned the loss of a fighter who was as much a cultural icon as a boxer. Manny Pacquiao and former champions paid tribute to his talent, spirit, and influence on British boxing. Ricky Hatton's legacy goes beyond his titles and victories. He inspired a generation of fighters with his determination, heart, and connection to the people. He will always be remembered as the Hitman, a fighter who embodied the passion and resilience of boxing. Eusebius J. Beltran passed away at the age of 91. Eusebius Joseph Beltran was a revered American Roman Catholic prelate who served with distinction as Archbishop of Oklahoma City from 1993 until his retirement in 2010. Born on August 31, 1934 in Ashley, Pennsylvania, Beltran's life was deeply steeped in faith, service, and leadership within the church. Eusebius J. Beltran was the son of Joseph C. Beltran, a Spanish immigrant who worked in Pennsylvania coal mines, and Helen Rita Kozlowski, a second-generation Polish homemaker. Among his 8 siblings, many chose religious vocations, marking a family tradition of devout faith and service. Beltran pursued theological studies at St. Charles Borromeo Seminary in Pennsylvania, leading to his ordination as a priest in Atlanta, Georgia. In 1960, Beltran's ministry was marked by pastoral dedication and leadership. He served in many parish assignments and held significant roles such as presiding judge of the Metropolitan Tribunal and Vicar General. He also took part in the historic Selma to Montgomery marches of 1965 during the Civil Rights Movement, reflecting his commitment to justice and equality. Appointed Bishop of Tulsa in 1978, Beltran was known for his compassionate outreach, assisting marginalized communities including unwed mothers, HIV/AIDS victims, homeless families, and women recently released from prison. In 1993, Pope John Paul II named him Archbishop of Oklahoma City, a post in which he devoted himself to strengthening Catholic education, charitable organizations, and pastoral care. Under his leadership, the Archdiocese of Oklahoma City maintained a strong commitment to Catholic schools and Catholic charities, impacting countless lives. Beltran was known for his kindness, a great sense of humor, and his particular devotion to youth ministry. Even after retirement in 2010, he remained active, assisting with confirmations, masses, and visits to the sick and elderly. Archbishop Paul S. Coakley praised Beltran as a good shepherd, noting his tireless service and countless accomplishments. Beltran's legacy includes efforts to uphold traditional Catholic values while also engaging humanely with social challenges. His outspoken opposition to President Barack Obama receiving an honorary degree from the University of Notre Dame in 2009 underscored his uncompromising stance on pro-life issues. Eusebius J. Beltran passed away on September 12, 2025 in Oklahoma City. Vigils and a mass of Christian burial were held in his honor, attended by clergy, laity, and community leaders who mourned his passing and celebrated a life devoted to faith, service, and compassion. He is remembered as a pillar within the Catholic Church and a friend to many whose compassion and leadership profoundly touched Oklahoma and beyond. Andrei Chemerkin passed away at the age of 53. Andrei Ivanovich Chemerkin was a legendary Russian weightlifter and Olympic gold medalist whose achievements made him one of the most celebrated figures in the sport's history. Born on February 17, 1972, in Solnechnodolsk, Stavropol Krai, then part of the Soviet Union, Chemerkin's career was marked by extraordinary strength, world records, and championship titles that left an indelible imprint on weightlifting. Chemerkin's rise in the world of weightlifting began in his teenage years, culminating with victories as junior world champion in 1991 and 1992. His senior career was nothing short of prolific. In 1996, he secured the ultimate honor by winning the Olympic gold medal in the super heavyweight category at the Atlanta Games, mastering the snatch with an impressive 197.5 kg and the clean and jerk with a staggering 260 kilograms for a total of 457.5 kg. This feat placed him firmly among the elite in the sport. He went on to become a four-time world weightlifting champion, claiming gold in 1995, 1997, 1998, and 1999. In European championships, he earned 2 gold medals, further establishing his dominance on the continent. Throughout his career, Chemerkin set 7 world records, showcasing incredible feats of strength and technique. In the 2000 Sydney Olympics, Chemerkin added a bronze medal to his collection, and during his career, he was known for attempting nearly all-time heaviest lifts, including a clean and jerk of 272.5 kilos or 601 lbs in the 2000 Olympics, illustrating his continual pursuit of pushing the boundaries in weightlifting. Tragically, Chemerkin died on September 12, 2025. Preliminary reports indicate that his death was caused by a ruptured blood clot, which struck suddenly despite him being in good health the night before. His passing was met with deep sorrow worldwide, especially in the weightlifting community in Russia, where he was regarded as a national hero. The Russian Weightlifting Federation issued a statement mourning the loss of a legendary man and expressed condolences to his family and friends. Chemerkin's coach also described him as a monumental figure in the sport whose legacy would endure beyond his years. His achievements and charismatic presence in the sport inspired countless athletes and fans, and his world records and Olympic triumph remain benchmarks of excellence. Chemerkin's dedication, strength, and discipline reflect the spirit of competitive weightlifting, making him a timeless figure in sports history. Boland Coetzee passed away at the age of 80. Boland Coetzee was a highly respected South African rugby union player and successful winemaker. Born on January 20, 1945, Coetzee made a significant impact both on and off the rugby field, remembered for his strength, dedication, and humility throughout his varied and accomplished life. Coetzee began his rugby career while studying at Stellenbosch University, enrolling in 1963 to pursue a degree in oenology, the science of winemaking. During this time, he captained the university's under-18 rugby team and played for the Maddies Rugby Club, which he also led on multiple occasions until 1979. His domestic rugby career flourished as he played 127 competitive matches for Western Province from 1967 to 1979. Scoring an impressive 37 tries over that span, his international rugby debut came in 1974 against the British and Irish Lions at Newlands, Cape Town. Though initially dropped after the first test, he returned to represent South Africa in 5 additional matches, including starting all 4 tests against the formidable New Zealand All Blacks in their 1976 tour of South Africa. Known for his work ethic and agility as a flanker, Coetzee earned the nickname Jan Boland and was widely regarded as one of the best fetchers of the ball of his era. Upon retiring from rugby, Coetzee transitioned seamlessly into the world of winemaking, applying his academic background and entrepreneurial spirit to cultivate success at his family-owned estate, Friesenhof, located in the Stellenbosch wine region, one of South Africa's premier agricultural areas. His contributions to the wine industry added another layer to his respected legacy. Beyond his professional achievements, Coetzee was celebrated for his generosity, humility, and commitment to the agricultural sector and workers. He was known to uplift and support those around him by sharing both knowledge and opportunities, embodying values that extended well beyond sports and business. Triumph and kindness defined Coetzee's life, and he remained a beloved figure in both rugby and winemaking communities. His passing on September 12, 2025, was met with deep sorrow across South African sport and agriculture, with tributes highlighting his quiet strength, grace, and the indelible mark he left on the lives he touched. South African Rugby President Mark Alexander expressed heartfelt condolences, honoring Coetzee as a gentleman and a legend who embodied perseverance, respect, and community spirit. Jan Boland Coetzee's legacy continues to inspire both on the rugby field and in the vineyards, symbolizing dedication, excellence, and humility. Jack Tupper Daniels. Passed away at the age of 92, Jack Tupper Daniels was a legendary American running coach, exercise scientist, and a 2-time Olympic medalist in modern pentathlon whose groundbreaking work transformed the science and practice of distance running. Born on April 26, 1933, Daniels developed a lifelong passion for athletics and human performance that influenced countless runners and coaches across the world. Daniels' own athletic career was impressive. Though he began as a strong collegiate swimmer, he went on to compete in modern pentathlon, a demanding 5-sport event combining fencing, swimming, equestrian, pistol shooting, and cross-country running. He won Olympic medals in 1956 Melbourne and 1960 Rome, famously earning bronze and silver for the United States. Following his athletic career, Daniels pursued higher education with zeal, earning a doctorate in physical education and exercise physiology from the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 1969. He also served as a national coach for Peru before embarking on a coaching career that revolutionized endurance training. His Daniels running formula, a seminal training methodology emphasizing aerobic and anaerobic threshold development, became the foundation of modern distance running coaching. Daniels coached for decades at SUNY Cortland and was regarded as the world's best coach by Runner's World magazine. He worked closely with Olympic and elite distance runners, yet he also delighted in helping recreational runners achieve personal bests and a love for the sport. More than 50 scientific articles and several best-selling books bear his name, documenting training programs and exercise science breakthroughs. His training principles, such as the concept of VDOT, a measure of running ability, and interval training tailored to individual needs, remain staples among coaches and athletes worldwide. Daniels also championed the importance of balance between volume, intensity, recovery, and biomechanics in training to prevent injury and optimize performance. Jack Daniels passed peacefully on September 12, 2025, after a career and life dedicated to elevating human potential through science and coaching. Tributes poured in from the running community, including from Olympic champions and top coaches who credited Daniels with reshaping the sport. His legacy lives on in every runner who benefits from his wisdom, technique innovations, and humane coaching philosophy. Ted Goveia. Passed away at the age of 55, Ted Goveia was a respected Canadian football executive and general manager known for his impactful leadership in the Canadian Football League, CFL. A native of Burlington, Ontario, Goveia served as the general manager of the Hamilton Tiger Cats from December 2024 until his untimely death in September 2025. His career in football spanned over 2 decades. Marked by dedication, talent evaluation, and a passion for the game, Goveia began his football journey as a player before transitioning into coaching and executive roles. He played high school football at Assumption Secondary School and later coached there and at other local teams, showcasing his commitment to developing talent from the grassroots level. He studied at Mount Allison University, where he also played football, further deepening his knowledge of the sport. His professional career included 11 years with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, where he was instrumental in constructing championship teams that won Grey Cups in 2019 and 2021. His eye for talent and strategic acumen were widely respected, and his contributions helped elevate the Bombers to perennial contenders. Upon joining the Hamilton Tiger Cats as general manager, Goveia called the role his dream job, bringing energy and vision to a franchise eager to return to glory. Despite being diagnosed with esophageal cancer in June 2025, he remained involved in team activities as much as possible, emphasizing resilience and professionalism. The Canadian Football League and the Tiger Cats organization mourned his loss deeply. Statements highlighted Goveia's kindness, leadership, and lasting impact on Canadian football, reflecting on how he treated everyone with respect and care, from peers to fans. The Tiger Cats honored him during a special Team Ted game celebrating his life and legacy. Ted Goveia's passing left a void in the CFL community. He was remembered not only for his achievements as a general manager, but also for his humility, generosity, and the positive influence he had on players and colleagues. His legacy continues through the teams he helped shape and the enduring spirit he brought to Canadian football. Michael Andrew Fox. Michael Andrew Fox was born on June 9, 1961 in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, to parents William Fox, a police officer and later a Canadian Forces member, and Phyllis Fox, a payroll clerk who later became an actress and screenwriter. He was the 4th of 5 children in a close-knit family that would frequently relocate due to his father's military career. The Fox family's nomadic lifestyle meant that young Michael experienced numerous moves throughout his childhood, living in various Canadian cities, including Burnaby, British Columbia, where he spent much of his formative years. These frequent relocations taught him adaptability from an early age, a trait that would serve him well in his future career. Despite the constant changes in environment, the Fox household maintained a strong sense of unity and support, with humor being a central element of family dynamics. Michael's interest in performing arts emerged remarkably early. By age 10, he was already showing signs of the charisma and natural talent that would later make him a household name. His small stature, he would eventually reach only 5'4" in height, initially seemed like it might be a disadvantage, but even as a child, he possessed an infectious energy and quick wit that drew people to him. During his elementary school years in Burnaby, Michael began participating in school plays and local theater productions. His teachers quickly recognized his natural ability to captivate audiences, noting his exceptional timing and instinctive understanding of comedy. He wasn't just performing, he was studying the craft, watching how audiences responded to different approaches and learning to adjust his performance accordingly. The young Michael was also an avid sports enthusiast, particularly drawn to hockey, a passion that was almost mandatory for any Canadian boy of his generation. However, his size often worked against him in competitive sports, leading him to focus more intensively on his artistic pursuits. This shift wasn't born of disappointment, but rather of practicality and passion. He simply found more success and joy in entertainment than in athletics. His family was supportive of his artistic ambitions, with his mother, Phyllis, being particularly encouraging. She recognized that her son had something special and made efforts to nurture his talent. This support system was crucial during his teenage years when he began to seriously consider entertainment as more than just a hobby. By age 15, Michael had already decided that he wanted to pursue acting professionally. This wasn't a casual teenage dream, but a carefully considered career choice based on years of positive feedback and personal fulfillment from performing. His family's frequent moves had actually provided him with a unique advantage. He had learned to quickly adapt to new environments and connect with diverse groups of people, skills that would prove invaluable in the entertainment industry. Michael's professional journey began in earnest when he moved to Los Angeles at the age of 18 in 1979, armed with little more than determination and raw talent. His first years in Hollywood were marked by the typical struggles of a young actor, countless auditions, small roles, and the constant uncertainty that defines the early career of most performers. He adopted the middle initial J to avoid confusion with another actor named Michael Fox and to honor his respect for actor Michael J. Pollard. His breakthrough came in 1982 when he was cast as Alex P. Keaton in the NBC sitcom Family Ties. The role of the conservative, money-obsessed teenager in a family of liberal ex-hippie parents was originally conceived as a supporting character. But Michael's magnetic performance quickly made Alex the show's centerpiece. His portrayal was nuanced and intelligent, avoiding the trap of making Alex purely unlikable despite his often selfish and materialistic tendencies. Instead, Fox imbued the character with vulnerability and genuine conviction that made audiences simultaneously laugh at and empathize with him. Family Ties ran for 7 seasons and established Michael as a major television star, but it was his venture into films that truly cemented his place in entertainment history. In 1985, while still working on Family Ties, he took on the role that would define his career, Marty McFly, in Back to the Future. Interestingly, he wasn't the original choice for the role. Eric Stoltz had been cast and had actually filmed several weeks of scenes before director Robert Zemeckis and producer Steven Spielberg realized the chemistry wasn't right. Michael's casting in Back to the Future required an exhausting schedule that had him filming the movie during the day and the TV show at night. But his performance as the skateboard-riding teenager accidentally sent back in time was nothing short of perfect. His natural charm, impeccable comedic timing, and ability to convey both confidence and vulnerability made Marty McFly an instantly iconic character. The film became a massive cultural phenomenon, grossing over $380 million worldwide and spawning 2 sequels that would be filmed back-to-back. The success of the Back to the Future trilogy established Michael as one of the most bankable stars of the 1980s and early 1990s. His ability to blend comedy with genuine emotion combined with his everyman appeal made him the perfect leading man for the era. Unlike many action heroes of the time, Fox's characters succeeded through wit and determination rather than physical prowess, making him relatable to audiences who saw themselves in his performances. Following the success of Back to the Future, Michael starred in several other notable films that showcased his range as an actor. The Secret of My Success, 1987, saw him playing Brantley Foster, a Kansas farm boy trying to make it in New York's corporate world. While the film received mixed critical reviews, it was a commercial success and further demonstrated Fox's ability to carry a film as the lead actor. His performance balanced physical comedy with romantic charm, proving he could handle different types of roles beyond the science fiction genre. In 1989, Fox took on a more dramatic role in Casualties of War, directed by Brian Dielma and co-starring Sean Penn. This Vietnam War film marked a significant departure from his typical comedic roles as he portrayed Private Erickson, a soldier who witnesses and ultimately reports a horrific war crime committed by members of his squad. The film was emotionally demanding and showcased Fox's ability to handle serious, complex material. His performance was praised by critics who noted his maturity and depth as an actor, though the film itself was not a major commercial success. Doc Hollywood, 1991, represented another successful starring vehicle for Fox, casting him as Dr. Ben Stone, a plastic surgeon who gets stranded in a small southern town and must serve as the local doctor. The film was both a commercial and critical success, grossing over $54 million domestically. Fox's performance perfectly captured the character's journey from self-centered city dweller to someone who discovers the value of community and genuine human connection. The role allowed him to showcase both his comedic skills and his ability to portray character growth convincingly. Throughout this period, Michael was also completing his work on the Back to the Future sequels. Back to the Future Part 2, 1989, and Back to the Future Part 3, 1990, required him to play multiple versions of Marty McFly across different time periods, demonstrating his versatility as an actor. In Part 2, he played not only 1985 Marty, but also his son and daughter in 2015, requiring extensive makeup and distinct characterizations for each role. Part that transported the character to the Old West. giving Fox the opportunity to play Marty as a fish out of water in an entirely different historical context. The technical challenges of these sequels were immense, but Fox rose to meet them with his characteristic professionalism and enthusiasm. His chemistry with Christopher Lloyd, who played Doc Brown, remained one of the trilogy's greatest strengths. And their father-son-like relationship became the emotional core of the films. The sequels were both commercial successes, with Part 2 grossing $332 million worldwide, and Part 3 earning $245 million globally. During this peak period of his career, Michael Fox was more than just an actor. He became a cultural icon. His characters represented a particular type of 1980s optimism, the belief that with enough determination and clever thinking, any obstacle could be overcome. This resonated strongly with audiences during the Reagan era, and Fox became synonymous with the decade's pop culture landscape. The trajectory of Michael J. Fox's life and career took a dramatic turn in 1991 when he noticed a slight tremor in his left pinky finger while filming Doc Hollywood. At first, he dismissed it as a minor issue, perhaps related to stress or overwork. However, the tremor persisted and gradually became more noticeable, prompting him to seek medical attention. What he discovered would fundamentally change not only his own life, but also reshape his public persona and life's mission. After consulting with several specialists, Michael received the devastating diagnosis of young onset Parkinson's disease at the age of 29. This news was particularly shocking because Parkinson's is typically associated with much older individuals, with the average age of onset being around 60. Young onset Parkinson's, affecting people under 50 accounts for only about 10% of all cases, making Michael's diagnosis both rare and unexpected. Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurological disorder that affects movement-causing symptoms such as tremors, stiffness, slowness of movement, and balance problems. The disease occurs when dopamine-producing neurons in a specific area of the brain, called the substantia, begin to deteriorate and die. Dopamine is a crucial neurotransmitter that helps control and coordinate body movements, so as these cells are lost, the characteristic symptoms of Parkinson's gradually emerge and worsen over time. The initial years following his diagnosis were marked by denial, fear, and an attempt to hide his condition from the public and even from many of his closest colleagues. Michael continued working, becoming increasingly skilled at concealing his symptoms through careful timing of medication, strategic positioning during filming, and sheer force of will. He learned to time his doses of levodopa, the primary medication used to treat Parkinson's symptoms, to coincide with his most demanding scenes. During this period of secrecy, Michael starred in several projects while battling his condition behind the scenes. He appeared in films like For Love or Money, 1993, and Greedy, 1994, though critics and audiences began to notice subtle changes in his performances. His movement seemed slightly less fluid, and there were moments when his characteristic energy appeared somewhat diminished. Though most attributed this to natural maturation as an actor rather than any underlying health issue, the psychological impact of living with Parkinson's while maintaining his career was enormous. Michael has spoken candidly about experiencing periods of depression and anxiety during this time. The uncertainty about his future, both personal and professional, weighed heavily on him. He struggled with questions about when to go public with his diagnosis, how it would affect his career, and what it meant for his family life. In 1996, Michael made the difficult decision to leave Spin City, the successful ABC sitcom he had been starring in since 1996. The show, which cast him as Mike Flaherty, the deputy mayor of New York City, had been both a critical and commercial success, earning him Emmy nominations and proving that his television appeal remained strong even in the post-Family Ties era. However, the physical demands of maintaining the rigorous television schedule while managing his advancing symptoms had become increasingly challenging. The decision to go public with his Parkinson's diagnosis came in 1998, 7 years after his initial diagnosis. This revelation shocked the entertainment industry and his fans worldwide. Michael chose to announce his condition during an interview with Barbara Walters, explaining that he felt the time was right to be honest about his situation and to use his platform to raise awareness about the disease. His public disclosure was met with an overwhelming outpouring of support from fans, fellow celebrities, and the medical community. Rather than viewing his announcement as the end of his career, Many saw it as the beginning of a new chapter in which he could make a different but equally important contribution to society. The courage he showed in going public while his career was still active inspired countless other individuals living with Parkinson's and other chronic conditions. The progression of Michael's Parkinson's has been well documented over the years, as he has remained remarkably open about his experiences with the disease. He has described the unpredictable nature of his symptoms, explaining how some days are better than others and how medication timing can significantly affect his motor function. He has also been candid about the side effects of long-term Parkinson's medication, including dyskinesia, involuntary movements that can be as disruptive as the disease's primary symptoms. One of the most challenging aspects of Parkinson's that Michael has discussed is the loss of automatic movements that most people take for granted. Simple actions like walking, getting dressed, or even facial expressions require conscious effort and planning. He has described having to think about each step when walking and being aware of his posture and movement in ways that healthy individuals never need to consider. Despite the progressive nature of his condition, Michael has consistently maintained a positive outlook and has refused to let Parkinson's define his limitations entirely. He has adapted his lifestyle and work methods to accommodate his symptoms while continuing to pursue meaningful projects and advocacy work. His approach to living with Parkinson's has become a model for others facing similar challenges, demonstrating that a chronic illness doesn't have to mean the end of a productive and fulfilling life. The impact of Parkinson's on Michael's professional life has been significant, but not entirely limiting. While he has had to be more selective about roles and has needed to make accommodations for his symptoms, he has continued to work in various capacities. His later television work, including appearances on shows like The Good Wife and Designated Survivor, has been carefully planned around his condition, with productions making necessary adjustments to support his participation. While Michael J. Fox's public battle with Parkinson's disease has been well documented, the personal losses and family struggles he has endured often remain less visible to the general public. These challenges have tested his resilience in ways that extend far beyond his medical condition, shaping him into the advocate and family man he is today. One of the most significant losses in Michael's life was the death of his father, William Fox, in 1990. William had been a steadying influence throughout Michael's childhood and early career, representing the values of service, duty, and integrity that would later guide Michael's own approach. To his advocacy work, William's military background and later career in law enforcement had instilled in the Fox family a strong sense of responsibility to others and community service. His passing came at a particularly challenging time, just as Michael was beginning to grapple with the early symptoms of what would later be diagnosed as Parkinson's disease. The loss of his father was particularly difficult because William never got to see how Michael would handle his greatest life challenge. Michael has often spoken about how his father's example of quiet, strength, and perseverance through difficult times helped shape his approach to living with Parkinson's. The timing of his father's death, occurring just before Michael's diagnosis, meant that he had to navigate his health crisis without the guidance of the man who had been his primary role model for handling adversity. Michael's mother, Phyllis Fox, faced her own health challenges over the years, which added additional stress to the family dynamic. As she aged, she required increasing care and attention, responsibilities that fell heavily on Michael and his siblings. Watching a parent's health decline while managing his own progressive condition created a complex emotional burden that Michael had to learn to navigate. Phyllis had been instrumental in nurturing his early career and had remained one of his closest confidants throughout his rise to fame. The progression of Michael's Parkinson's disease has also created unique challenges within his immediate family. His wife, Tracy Pollan, whom he married in 1988, has had to adapt to being both a spouse and increasingly a caregiver. Their relationship, which began when they co-starred in Family Ties, has been tested by the realities of chronic illness in ways that few couples must face. Tracy has spoken about the challenges of watching someone you love struggle with a progressive condition, describing the helplessness that comes with being unable to fix or cure the person you care about most. The couple's 4 children, Sam, Aquina, Skylar, and Esme, have grown up with a father whose condition has gradually worsened over time. This has created unique family dynamics, with the children having to mature in some ways more quickly than their peers. They have had to understand concepts of illness, medication schedules, and physical limitations that most children don't encounter in their immediate family. Environment. Michael has been open about the guilt he sometimes feels regarding how his condition has affected his children's lives. He has described missing some of their activities due to medication timing issues or having difficulty with physical activities that healthy fathers might take for granted. The unpredictable nature of Parkinson's symptoms means that family plans sometimes need to be adjusted or canceled, creating disappointment and requiring flexibility. From all family members, one of the most challenging aspects of Michael's condition, for his family has been watching him struggle with the side effects of his medications, dyskinesia, the involuntary movements caused by long-term use of Parkinson's. Medications can be particularly distressing for family members to witness. These movements, which can be quite pronounced, serve as a constant visual reminder of the disease's progression and the trade-offs involved in symptom management. The Fox family has also had to deal with the public nature of Michael's condition. Unlike many families dealing with chronic illness, their struggles have often played out in the public eye. This has meant that the children have had to handle questions and comments from classmates and teachers about their father's condition. Learning to navigate privacy, boundaries, and public curiosity from a young age. Michael has spoken about the particular challenge of maintaining his role as a disciplinarian, an authority figure with his children, while also needing their understanding and accommodation for his health needs. This balance between being a parent and being someone who requires care has required careful navigation to ensure that his children don't feel overburdened with responsibility while still understanding the realities of their family situation. The financial implications of chronic illness have also affected the family, though they have been fortunate to have resources that many families facing similar challenges do not possess. The costs of experimental treatments, specialized care, and the modifications needed to accommodate Michael's changing abilities have been substantial. While the Fox family has been able to manage these expenses, Michael has used his platform to highlight how devastating these costs can be for families without similar resources. Perhaps one of the most profound losses Michael has experienced is the gradual loss of his former physical self. The man who once performed his own stunts and was known for his energetic physical comedy has had to come to terms with a body that no longer responds as it once did. This process of grief for his former abilities has been ongoing and complex, involving not just the practical adaptations required by his condition, but also the emotional work of accepting a fundamentally changed relationship with his own body. The loss of certain career opportunities has also been a source of grief for Michael and his family. Roles that might have been perfect fits in the past are no longer feasible, and the spontaneity that once characterized his performances has had to give way to careful planning and accommodation. This has meant saying goodbye to aspects of his professional identity that had been central to who he was as an artist. Michael's siblings have also faced their own challenges in supporting him through his journey with Parkinson's. The dynamics between adult siblings can be complex under the best of circumstances, and adding a chronic illness to the mix creates additional layers of concern, guilt, and responsibility. They have had to balance their own lives and families with their desire to support Michael while also respecting his independence and dignity. Despite these numerous losses and challenges, Michael has consistently emphasized that his family remains his greatest source of strength and motivation. He has credited Tracy's unwavering support and his children's resilience with helping him maintain hope and purpose even during his most difficult periods. The family has developed strategies for communication, support, and adaptation that have allowed them to maintain close relationships despite the ongoing challenges posed by Parkinson's disease. Today, Michael J. Fox stands as one of the most influential advocates for Parkinson's disease research and patient support in the world. His transformation from beloved entertainer to passionate activist has created a legacy that extends far beyond his contributions to film and television. At 62 years old, more than 3 decades after his diagnosis, Michael continues to fight both his personal battle with Parkinson's and the larger war against the disease itself. The Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, established in 2000, has become the largest nonprofit funder of drug development for Parkinson's disease worldwide. Under Michael's leadership and vision, the foundation has funded more than $1 billion in research, supporting over 3,000 research projects across the globe. The Foundation's approach is notably different from many traditional medical charities. It operates more like a venture capital firm for Parkinson's research, taking calculated risks on innovative approaches and maintaining a laser focus on treatments and ultimately a cure. The Foundation's work has been revolutionary. In several key areas, it has funded the development of biomarkers for Parkinson's, which are crucial for both diagnosing the disease earlier and measuring the effectiveness of potential treatments. The Foundation has also supported the creation of the Parkinson's Progression Markers Initiative, PPMI, the largest observational study of Parkinson's disease ever conducted. This study follows participants over time, collecting detailed data about how the disease progresses and how different treatments affect patients. One of Michael's most significant contributions to Parkinson's research has been his advocacy for more flexible and innovative approaches to clinical trials. Traditionally, medical research moves slowly and cautiously, but Michael has pushed for faster, more efficient ways to test potential treatments. The Foundation has supported adaptive clinical trial designs that can be modified as they progress, potentially speeding up the development of new therapies by years. In recent years, Michael has been particularly focused on the concept of personalized medicine for Parkinson's patients. He understands that the disease affects different people in different ways and at different rates, and he has championed research into why these variations occur. This work could eventually lead to treatments that are tailored to individual patients based on their specific type of Parkinson's disease. Michael's current daily life is carefully structured around managing his condition while maintaining his advocacy, work and family relationships. His medication schedule is complex and precisely timed with doses of various drugs taken at specific intervals throughout the day to minimize symptoms and side effects. He has worked with medical professionals to optimize his treatment regimen, though he acknowledges that finding the right balance is an ongoing process that requires constant adjustment. The progression of his Parkinson's has been significant over the past 3 decades. His speech has been affected, sometimes requiring him to speak more slowly and deliberately than in his earlier years. His mobility has also changed, and he now uses various assistive devices when needed. However, he has maintained his characteristic wit and optimism, often joking about his condition in ways that help both himself and others cope with the realities of chronic illness. Michael's approach to living with advanced Parkinson's involves a combination of traditional medications, physical therapy, and lifestyle modifications. He maintains an active exercise routine, which research has shown can help slow the progression of Parkinson's symptoms. His exercise regimen includes activities specifically designed to address the balance and coordination issues that are common in Parkinson's patients. Despite his physical challenges, Michael continues to make selected public appearances and media interviews, always with the goal of raising awareness about Parkinson's disease and the need for continued research funding. These appearances require careful planning and timing, as his symptoms can vary significantly from day to day and even hour to hour. When he does appear publicly, he is often candid about his current condition, using his visibility to educate others about what living with advanced Parkinson's actually looks like. His writing has become another important outlet for both personal expression and advocacy. His memoirs, including Lucky Man Always Looking Up and A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Future, have provided intimate insights into his journey with Parkinson's, while also serving as inspirational guides for others facing similar challenges. These books have been both critically acclaimed and commercially successful, proving that his storytelling abilities remain as strong as ever. Michael's relationship with his children has evolved as they have grown into adults and as his condition has progressed. His 4 children, Sam, Aquina, Skylar, and Esme, are now all adults themselves, and some have shown interest in carrying forward his legacy of service and advocacy. Sam has worked with the Foundation and has spoken publicly about growing up with a father who has Parkinson's disease. The family dynamic has shifted over the years, with the children now sometimes taking on more supportive roles as Michael's needs have changed. His marriage to Tracy Pollan has endured and deepened over more than 3 decades, weathering the challenges of chronic illness, career changes, and the demands of raising 4 children in the public eye. Tracy has become an advocate in her own right, speaking about the challenges faced by caregivers and family members of people with Parkinson's disease. Their partnership serves as a model for how couples can navigate serious health challenges while maintaining their individual identities and their bond with each other. One of Michael's current priorities is ensuring the long-term sustainability and effectiveness of his foundation beyond his own direct involvement. While he remains actively engaged in the foundation's work, he has been careful to build strong leadership and institutional knowledge that will allow the organization to continue its mission regardless of how his own condition progresses. This forward-thinking approach reflects his understanding that the fight against Parkinson's is likely to continue long beyond his own lifetime. The Foundation's current research initiatives reflect Michael's evolving understanding of what will be most helpful to Parkinson's patients. In addition to continuing the search for better treatments and ultimately a cure, the Foundation now also focuses on quality-of-life improvements for people currently living with the disease. This includes research into better management of symptoms, improved rehabilitation techniques and technologies that can help people with Parkinson's maintain independence longer. Michael has also become increasingly interested in the role of technology in managing Parkinson's disease. The Foundation has supported research into wearable devices that can monitor symptoms and medication effects, smartphone applications that can help patients track their condition, and even experimental treatments involving deep brain stimulation and other high-tech interventions. In terms of his broader legacy, Michael J. Fox has fundamentally changed how society views both celebrity advocacy and Parkinson's disease. Before his public disclosure and subsequent activism, Parkinson's was often seen as an older person's disease that received relatively little research attention or public awareness. His high-profile advocacy has not only increased funding for research, but has also helped reduce the stigma associated with the condition. His influence extends beyond Parkinson's advocacy to broader questions about how society supports people with disabilities and chronic illnesses. Michael has been a vocal advocate for policies that provide better support for caregivers, increased access to experimental treatments, and more flexible employment arrangements for people with chronic conditions looking toward the future. Michael remains cautiously optimistic about the prospects for new Parkinson's treatments. While he acknowledges that a cure may not come in time to significantly impact his own progression, he's motivated by the possibility of preventing others from experiencing what he has gone through. He frequently speaks about his hope that future generations will view Parkinson's disease the way we now view polio, as a condition that was once devastating but was ultimately conquered through dedicated research and medical innovation. Today, Michael J. Fox represents something unique in our culture. A celebrity who has successfully transformed personal adversity into societal benefit. His journey from the energetic young actor who captured hearts in Back to the Future to the determined advocate who has revolutionized Parkinson's. Research demonstrates the profound impact that one person can have when they choose to use their platform for good. While Parkinson's disease has certainly changed his life in fundamental ways, it has not diminished his influence or his commitment to making the world better for others facing similar challenges.